Shalom Yashrala. First and foremost, I give my praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh, Bahashem Kakadash. Bhakti Yahweh, Bhakti Yahweh, Bhakti Yahweh, Bhakti Yahweh, Bhakti Yahweh, Bhakti Yahweh. This is the brother Ramya back at you with another video, and in today's lesson, basically was scrolling on Facebook and I saw this, basically, it was a little piece or a little screenshot, I screenshotted it from the sighting I saw, It reads, it says, more than 200,000 people have applied to work for ICE in recent months, according to the Department of Homeland Security, as reported by Fox News. Over 200,000 Americans have now applied to ICE. Those accepted will reportedly receive up to $90,000 in salary and a $50,000 sign-in bonus, so that's $140,000, ICE is giving it to people that sign up, that helps them, basically capture, other people, and just going to show that Jake would, as long as money in it or something that they would like, is involved with it, they'll do anything, and just show us, over 200,000 people over there in America, applied for ICE just so they could get, $140,000, So all you gotta do is just put your name on the paper and you guarantee $50,000, and then your salary is additional $90,000, So from Jake here that, Jake can jump for it, and as you know, anything, as I stated, anything that is basically beneficial, comes to something, I'm behind that, Jake is gonna go for it, as long as they like it, The first precept I'm gonna get is Jeremiah 8:3. It reads, "And that shall be chosen rather than life, by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all places where I have driven them, said Yahweh of hosts." So, that shall be chosen. 200,000 Americans over there, and I could guarantee you, some of them, if not all of them, are Jake, They choose in the following the ways in the system of Esau, choosing into doing, the agenda for Esau instead of following the ways of Yahweh, They choosing, that death, being the ways of Esau, following in Esau's agenda, Over 200,000 of them, all because money involved, $140,000, dollars involved. They jump for it, and like I say, all you gotta do is just put your name on a piece of paper, attached to a clipboard, and you guarantee $50,000, So even if you don't like the job, I can guarantee you these devils ain't letting you go just like that, because you already know, the inside information, you already know the inside background, so these devils can take you out for that, So even though this may sound as if, it's basically a legitimate job, or it's not, in all actuality, Esau always have a plan B, a backup plan in case something don't work out, So once you put your name on this piece of paper, on that clipboard, coming out of that, you already sign over to them. You already sign over your so-called freedom, as you might say, over to them. So, you just gotta do what they say now, You just have to do what they say now. This is the book of Salakia, Sirach 3 and 24. It reads, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion is overthrown their judgment." And this is what's happening right now, all because of their opinion, all because of what they believe, they could get out of it, They follow inside the ways of Esau, all because it sounds so good at the start, they think it's going to stay good. But as you know, this is exactly how, Esau get as many people to follow, inside his ways. He puts out something at the start was so sweet, you just can't deny, And after that sweetness, pure bitterness, His whole mindset changed, But in all actuality, that was if his mindset just is hiding it, But our people so foolish They can't see him, can't see through him, Salakia, you know. As I state, all because he offering you, $90,000 as a salary, you know, and then $50,000 just for putting your name down on a sign up sheet, Jay can jump to that. And this is where that evil suspicion is going to overturn the judgment, because the Most High is going to bring a dreadful judgment upon these people, that basically signs up for it, It's the book of Jeremiah 4 and verse 5. So like Jeremiah 5 and verse 4, it reads, "Therefore I say, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the way of the Lord, nor the judgment of their power." Just exactly as I say, these people didn't truly know the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yamashai. So they can keep on forsaking his law, statutes, and commandments. They can keep on not doing his will. They can keep on doing everything contrary to his law. All because of, of what these pastors, basically put out there, basically sweeten the pot for them, to have them believing that the Most High, he don't bring judgment. But guess what? The scriptures don't lie. If the Most High say he can bring a judgment upon you for it, he will. And that's exactly why he prophets in the highways and the byways to warn his people. But guess what? Over 200,000 people over there in America already signed up, to follow in the ways of the heathen, following the ways of Esau. So that amount of people, and basically that, set of people, already gave, their way over from Yahweh Shin Yahushai. So the Most High is going to bring a judgment upon them for that, It's the book of Ezekiel 18 and 30, It reads, I can jump back into this. It says, over 200,000 Americans have now applied to ICE. These accepted will reportedly receive up to $90,000 in salary and $50,000 sign-in bonus. So again, pretty much all you gotta do is just put your name on a piece of paper, and you guarantee $50,000, along with that extra salary, so $140,000 just for doing the work he saw, and the Most High is gonna bring a swift judgment upon those that follow, in that way, because this ICE organization basically was only made, to capture Jake. It was only made to keep Jake down below and oppress Jake. And we have some people right there signing up to basically partake, in the wickedness and the folly that Esau is doing. So the Most High is going to bring a swift judgment upon them for that. Because as you can see now over there in Cali, Oregon, Chicago, New York, and what's not, Washington, these ICE agents going rampant over there. They coming at your homes, taking from your home to in front of your family. They ain't care. If you don't got them papers, or if you don't got proof of identity or proof of verification to say that you belong in America, they taking you cold. They ain't care who you is. They ain't care. They ain't care what your status might be. They taking you. Ezekiel 18 and 30. Therefore I will judge you, O hosts of Israel, everyone according to his way. Said Yahweh Bashan Yahushai, repent and turn yourselves from all your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin. Cast away from you all of your transgressions whereby ye have transgressed, and make you a new heart and a new spirit. For why will ye die, O house of Israel? For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, said Yahweh power. Wherefore turn yourselves and live ye. So the Most High don't have no pleasure in taking on his own people, The Most High ain't have no pleasure in taking on his chosen people, the ones who we love. But if you bring him to that point, he's gonna have to, He's gonna have to put forth, his foot down and put that belt there, belt the ass, So you asking for it. Repent before it's too late, Repent, But like I say, anything that comes, with slackness, anything that comes with some sort of basically reward, that Jake may love, Jake would always partake in it. And as you can see, that's what they're doing, you know. But nonetheless, this lesson was much edifying to serve this purpose. I give a praises to Yahweh Bashan, Yahweh Shai, for putting this very upon me to do this video. Shalom.